Who's the best villain in college basketball? Using the term best because we like villains here. We enjoy villains. We've had some relationships with some villains. And this is a question that's come up in the Discord. I actually want to give a shout out to somebody who was asking for a segment on villains. And scrolling through if I can, I don't know. I'll find it in just a moment. But anyways, point is, I want to talk about this upcoming season, not the last 10 years, because I think we've named a lot of the big names in the last 10 years already. Who do you think will be the best villain this year? And is it someone who already is a villain or becomes a villain for some reason in college basketball this year?
So as I thought about this, I automatically went to the default villain setting, and you pick the tall white player from Duke. And you go with the easy answer. It's Flip. I think Flip could be college basketball's biggest villain this year. I think that he'll have won the game, the stats to back it up, and also just everything surrounding Duke. I think just makes it natural for them to be a villain. But I also just had one come to me right now just a second ago, and I know you're not going to like it. But I have a theory here, and I haven't worked it out yet, but I'm definitely going to formulate some more opinions on this moving forward. But this is the initial thought process here. Caleb Love becomes the biggest villain in college basketball this season. In his redemption arc, he becomes the biggest villain because everybody hates Caleb Love right now. There's a very few people who out there pull for Caleb Love. And in every place that he goes, he's going to be a hated player. That's how he is going to be. And I think part of his redemption arc that he could have this season as a player will have a little bit of a villain to him. Like, he's hitting these big shots, he's doing this thing, and he's letting the crowd know about it. And Arizona's a good basketball team, and he plays good basketball. So there's a world where I think Caleb Love turns into a villain this college basketball season.
Yeah, I had him on my list. I have 4 names on my list. I don't hate the concept of Caleb Love being a villain because he is a villain. I don't know why you're expecting I wouldn't like that. I love that. I think it's an
because I brought up, I think I brought up Doug McDaniel being a villain, or like Terrence Reed being a villain. You're like, no, those guys are too nice.
No, you can't be a villain if you're a 5'8" 4-star recruit. Like, that's just impossible. Like,
Caleb Love is a 6'3" 5-star.
Right, that's a villain archetype.
You're saying, I'm sorry, you're saying you can't be like middle. Okay, got
like, if you're a guy that people slept on that's like way smaller than everyone you play against, like, how is that even a villain? You have to have some element. Like, that guy just plays for a team you don't like. That's all that is. Like,
yeah, he's just a pipsqueak.
Cassius Winston wasn't a villain. He was just a good player on a team I didn't like. That's all it is. Like, yeah, I think Caleb's one of my 4 names. In order for him to be the best villain in college basketball, Arizona would need to be really good, and he would need to be like first team All-American good. If that happens, it could happen. I think Flip is another good answer. You threw that out. For obvious reasons, if you're the face of Duke and you're that face in particular, you'd have a good chance of being a villain. That's just Duke history. He knows that. He'll own that. I have 2 that I think would surprise you, though. First one, I think we could see a Donovan Clingan villain turn this year. And it pains me to say this because I like Clingan, and I think in general he has a nice little personality. I love the fact that he's hosting Cooper Flagg on visits right now, and apparently Clingan's mom and Cooper Flagg's mom played in college together. That's a connection I didn't expect. Like, there's a world where Cooper Flagg goes to UConn and they become like this awesome, nasty, chippy team.
Yeah.
But here's what I know. I got to interview Donovan Clingan at the Final Four after their win in the semis. And I just somehow find myself in the locker room with a microphone doing some stuff for the Field of 68. And I'm like, I'm going to interview Donovan. So Doster's like holding the phone, recording this. And the question I wanted to ask him is, he's very demonstrative. I don't think you pick this up on TV because they don't show it a ton. But in a game, he's one of the premier get a bucket and let you know I got a bucket on your head guys. And like, he was like pointing at opposing fans. He was talking to Miami's bench. Like, there were a lot of moments of like, this dude is chippy and nobody realizes it yet. So I forget how I phrased it to him, but I think I was just like, all season long, you've been at the top of my shit talkers list. Like, where does that come from? And he kind of like laughed and was just like, I get that shit from my family. Like, I'm wired like that. And I was like, oh, like, nah, he's got this. So I think a team where Klingon is the best player on it, if UConn's really good, I think you're going to see a whole new side of Klingon where he's like, and he can back it up. So it's a good thing, but he's this crazy shit talker and has a personality to him. I would be rooting for that villain turn if that happens, honestly. I think it'd be fun for college basketball if Donovan Klingon was a villain this year.
I like that shot right there. It'd be a lot of fun. Can I guess your last one?
Please. I don't think you're going to get it.
Is it from Creighton?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
Were you thinking Baylor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I sent this to Cart in the Discord the other day. I think we nailed our team. We said Creighton's our team this year. I think we nailed it because Baylor Shireman has a buzz cut, some forearm tats, and a headband now.
Yeah, my Creighton future bet is feeling amazing right now.
Meanwhile, Trey Alexander's cramming on 3 dudes' heads and retweeting the video. Like, we are in a great spot. I'm glad we got ahead of it before everybody else did. But no, my final villain turn, it's actually tied to Caleb Love. I think Armando Bacot could become the villain of college basketball this year. And here's why. What if we were all wrong about North Carolina? What if I've been saying for years that it's all Caleb Love's fault and that when he departs, everything is going to be rainbows and unicorns because Armando Bacot's really good and this guy's a toxic personality? What if that's just wrong? It could be. What if the toxic guy wasn't Caleb? What if everybody else in the locker room is the problem? What if the guy who photoshops his biceps into SpongeBob arms and just sticks around setting empty stat records is around? Like, I think he could be the problem here. I really do. And if North Carolina isn't just like magically good because Caleb Love left, there's going to be a lot of eyes on, wait, why is this team still bad? And the eyes are going to turn to Armando. And right now, I think Armando is remembered very fondly in North Carolina lore because of his just production, his stats. But God forbid, if North Carolina is bad this year, I think people are going to turn on Armando. And if people turn on Armando, I think Armando turns on everyone. And we see a villain side for who he like right now. He's a villain who might be hiding in plain sight. In 3 months, I think he won't be hiding anymore. That's my theory.
I like all 4 of those shouts by you.
Okay.
Hunter Dickinson's not going to be happy we left him off the list.
You can't be a villain if you try to be a villain. It is what it is. Like, you can play the role. Like, if we need to cast someone to be Donovan Klingon, Hunter Dickinson would be my first call.
To cast. to be Donovan Klingon stunt double.
Like, hey, I'm making a documentary. It's like the Lakers show, whatever it is, Showtime. Like, Winning Time. Hey, we're making a college version of Winning Time, and we need someone to play Donovan Klingon, who's someone who like vaguely looks like him and can give us like 80% of what Klingon can. Oh, Hunter, perfect call. I know you're available. You need work. You like money. It's a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit.